guys, how's it going? And welcome back. So in today's video I'm going to teach you guys how to set up your laptop and your desktop, or if you only have one of them, doesn't matter. You'll get both in this video. So I do have my Windows 10 laptop here as well. I'm going to show you guys how to get the maximum performance out of your computer in only a few clicks. So no money out of your pocket. Yay! Well, maybe, depends. If you have a mechanical hard drive, you might want to consider an SSD because, man, I tell you, SSD drives rule. Anyways, so our first thing we want to do is make sure our screensaver is turned off. Now, under Windows 10, and this will be done very similar as on previous versions of Windows as well. Not all of them will be exactly identical, but by now you should be running Windows 10. I've been running Windows 10 since it came out, and yeah, so the majority of us should also all be on Windows 10. Now, so we want to turn the screensaver off. Now, I do have the menu choice, but if you don't, just type in screensaver. Okay, so we're just going to click on this. Now, I have it already as none, and so if you did have a screensaver turned on, like bubbles or whatever, it doesn't matter. Click on none, click apply, screensaver is now off. The next thing you want to do is go into your control panel, okay? So type in control panel. Now this is all done at the bottom search bar, by the way. That's why you see this menu keep coming up. So that's where you're going to type it in. Then you want to go to power options, okay? Click on that. Now, you've got a few choices here. So you want to go to like choice 3 or 4, doesn't matter. But pick one. So choose when to turn off the display. So click on that. Make sure that turn off display is set to never. Put computer to sleep is also set to never. The majority of this will be the same on the laptop, but we're going to go through the laptop too because there are some differences on a laptop over a desktop. So change advanced power settings. That's what we want to click on. Okay? That's going to bring us this box. Now we can exit out of there. So I'm going to see, can we enlarge this enough or no? No. It's not going to let us do it. Alright, so let's zoom in as best we can here, because I want you guys to see as much as possible of this. And there we go. That should be more than enough. Alright, so starting with your hard disk, setting in minutes. Okay, so it says turn off hard disk after. Now, you can't really turn off a hard disk for SSD technically because there's no moving parts, but you can also kind of like turn it off anyways, right? So setting in minutes you want as 0. SSD or mechanical drive makes no difference. Make sure it's on 0. Internet Explorer. Now, even if you're not using Explorer, do this anyways. Setting maximum performance out of your browser. Desktop background settings. Click on slideshow. Setting is to be set as available. Wireless adapter settings. Click on the little plus sign, power saving mode. You want to select maximum performance. Okay? You don't want your internet card running at quarter speed or half speed or having the ability to even fall asleep on you from inactivity. You want it as maximum performance. This way it's running full bore at its full clock rate that it can. Depending on too, if you're connecting to 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz on your internet system, we have two choices. Most of us do. I always connect to 5 gigahertz because it's twice as fast as 2.4 gigahertz. So that makes a difference in your internet surfing speed, uploading and downloading. But you still have to have this set at maximum performance. Okay, so that's this is a separate area from your connection speed to your router. So sleep is next. Sleep after. Click on it. Never. Hybrid sleep. Setting off. Hibernate after. Setting never. Okay, now you're going to get little dialogues because there will be default settings for all this, so it'll come up with these little dialog boxes with plus and minus stuff here, or up and down buttons. Make sure it's set to never, okay? Allow wake timers, enabled, okay? We still want those. USB settings, USB selective suspend setting. Enable that, Okay, that makes no difference whatsoever. I always have left it enabled. Okay, and I have tried it where you disable it and it has made absolutely zero difference. Okay, PCI Express link state power management setting. You want to make sure that's off. Processor power management. Now, you are not overclocking your processor here, guys. What you are doing is allowing it to run full speed of its base clock frequency. Anything when it comes to overclocking settings, you do that manually through the BIOS, if you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you can blow stuff up. Or you just allow the BIOS to take control so that you've got this part saying, look, I want all my base clock frequency is what you're saying here, and I want it full bore, right? But you're not getting full bore of the whole processor just as the base clock. So mine's a 3.2 gigahertz, I can blast over to 4.1. So that's a turbo overclock that is only accessed by software. So if software demands more horsepower than what your minimum state is of your base clock, then it'll automatically turn your processors on faster to accelerate speed. So you're not messing with that part, you're just messing with this. So minimum processor state, setting 100%. System cooling policy, okay, active. You want that system cooling active all the time. So maximum processor state, 100%. So you want minimum and maximum to be 100% full power, okay? Display. It says turn display off after. Now we did check it ahead of time. We did set to never. Make sure it's also set to never in here, okay? Multimedia settings. When sharing media, prevent idling to sleep is what you want. Video playback quality BIOS setting. Video playback performance bias, okay? You also have power saving. We don't want to save power. We want to run this thing. When playing a video, optimize the video quality is what we want. We don't want balanced. We want to optimize that video quality. We want the best possible picture, okay? We're still going to get great sound no matter what, so I just go for optimize the video quality, right? So then we get the best out of that. And that's all there is to this particular computer. You may, and then click apply when you're done. Now you may have a couple settings extra, you may not, but likelihood on a main desktop Windows 10 computer, these will be the only settings you're going to get, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually fire up our Windows 10 laptop, and we're going to go through the same thing again because there are some differences actually on laptops. And I need a mouse pad. Now I like to use a mouse also on my laptop. Generally I'll run a external keyboard as well. So I'll just get this to fire up. And now we will zoom out. And we'll re-angle and zoom back in. Hopefully that's enough. It's going to have to be. I got limited space here. Okay, so this computer has actually been freshly reloaded. I have done nothing. So this is the way you're going to even see it when you first set up your computer. Go ahead, tell me what to do. Something interesting. Alright, so power and sleep settings, if we start typing in the word power, it gets us into here. Well, this is not what we want anyways, right? So we want to go into the control panel. So let's go control. Now this computer does have a mechanical hard drive in it. And we also want our screensaver as well. So again, screensaver is currently set to none. We've been through this once already. Now from here we can actually click on change power settings. Okay, which is kind of nice and convenient. This is another way around things. I can hear that hard drive just going, you know, it's a 5400 RPM drive. Okay, so what we're going to do in here is we're going to create a power plan, okay? But before we do that, we want to choose what the power button does. Now this is a little bit different. This is a laptop, okay? So on battery, we can have it go for shutdown, okay? Plugged in, we can go shutdown. Or we can select do nothing, which means you always got to manually shut the sucker down. When I close the lid, do nothing. Now your display will automatically shut down anyways when you close your lid, but you don't want it to do anything. So we want do nothing, and we want do nothing. Okay? So now that's done. Click Save Changes. Now this is actually the first variant of Windows 10 that came with this laptop, but it's pretty much the same either way, even with the latest build of Windows 10. So you're going to have the same sort of thing going on. I mean, there are some people out there that you guys don't update your OSs. I don't know why. I see it all the time with Mac people. It's like, why are you still running Yosemite? That is like ancient. Everybody's up to Big Sur now, or Catalina. Anyways, and we will have a video on the Mac stuff too. So anyways, now we've done that, we want to create a power plan. Okay? Now, balance is recommended. We want high performance, right? So we're going to do that. We're going to click Next. And we want on battery, we want never. And, well, come on, get to never. And never again. So now we go to choose when the computer turns off the display, change advanced settings. Alright, now this is the default setup, and we're going to click out of here, and can we grow our window any? No. Okay, so we're going to have to zoom in again. Hopefully you guys can see what's really going on here, but I'm explaining as I go, so it should help you either way. Okay, turn hard disk off. Now these are all default settings, and we're going to just override them. So this is where you get these little tabs show up. So we're just going to click and hold on the down button with our mouse till it says never. If you don't use an external mouse, by the way, on your laptop, it's going to be like click, 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 click. It's really annoying. It's just use an external mouse for this. It's faster. Okay, on battery, plugged in minutes, okay, to turn off the hard disk. Again, never. Okay. Internet Explorer is next. JavaScript. Maximum performance on battery or power savings. Maximum performance. Plugged in, maximum performance. We want these to match. Desktop background stuff. So we're going to scroll the wheel up a little bit. Slideshow. Available, available. We're all good there. Wireless adapter. Power savings mode. Maximum performance on battery, maximum performance plugged in. Oh, I guess I did change some of these. Okay, so maybe I did. But this is what you want. Okay, sleep, hibernate, never, never. Okay, I did change this one ahead of time. I thought I hadn't messed with it because I just did a fresh reload. On battery, allow wake timers, disabled. Plugged in, important wake timers only. No, we're going to disable that too. Who cares? USB settings, selective suspend setting, enabled and enabled on both. Power buttons and lid. Okay, lid close action, do nothing, because we selected that. Power button action, shut down, whether it's plugged in or not. PCI Express, link state power management, on battery, off, plugged in, off. Okay, you will have power savings, moderate or maximum. We just want it off. Okay, we don't want to save juice. Even on battery, you don't want to save juice. Now, I realize too, guys, that we want to maximize our battery life during the day on our computers. Now, the new Mac computers, by the way, you can turn all that power saving stuff off. You're not losing much time. Okay, you will still make it through an 8-hour day. All right, no problems. Well, you should, depending on what you're doing, I guess. But even on this laptop, I can still get through the majority of the time by having this thing just set up the way we're doing it when I'm on straight battery, because I really don't care if I get 5 hours or 6 hours out of my battery, okay, or 3 hours, depending on what I'm doing. If you're playing a lot of video games on a laptop and you're not plugged in, you will suck that battery no matter which way you go. It's just you might gain 20 minutes by having power saving features on as opposed to off, okay? It's not that massive of a savings, but it does make a huge difference doing this as far as the performance of your computer goes. Okay, so minimum processor state on battery. Okay, so I guess I didn't change everything. So we want to go to the up button and we want 100%. Now you can shortcut this by just making sure it's highlighted and just type in 100. You should be able to. There we go, 100. Okay, plugged in, 100%. System cooling, active on battery, active plugged in. Maximum processor state, 100% on both. Display, turn off display after, never and never, plugged in or not. Multimedia settings, when sharing media, prevent idling to sleep, plugged in or not. Video playback quality bias, we want to make sure that these are both for performance bias. Okay, plugged in or not. When playing a video, optimize video quality on both. Battery, this is where we get into some battery stuff. This is where some differences are. Critical battery notification, on and on. Critical battery action, hibernate. No, I want it to shut down. I don't want it to hibernate. Because even though we overrid hibernate action up top, if you don't override it here, it can still hibernate. Or you could say do nothing on critical battery. But we're going to say shut down because you'd rather have it shut down. Now keep in mind, whatever stuff you haven't saved, it may prompt you to save your work, or it may not. It depends on your software that you're running, whether or not it does that or not. Battery level, 10%, 10%. That's okay for low battery level. We want at least 10% of our juice. Critical level, 5 and 5 for percentage. Low battery notification, on and on for both. Not that you're going to get a low battery when you're plugged into the wall, but have it on anyways. Low battery action, okay? On battery, do nothing, do nothing. Okay, your other option is hibernate or shut down. So shut down and shut down. Reserve battery level. On battery, 7%, 7% plugged in or not. Okay, and then once we're done, we click apply and we're done. So if you're still experiencing slowness in your computers after doing this, you need to make a few changes. One, hardware memory. Okay, that's the RAM used to run your operating system and your programs. This laptop has 12 gigs in it. It can go a lot higher too, but 12 gigs, I've never had issues with this thing. It's been wonderful. I have 16 gigs in my tower system, which seems to be more than adequate, but I am going to be upgrading that eventually to probably 32 or maxing it to 64 gigs. Just because I know I'm going to have this tower for a few more years yet, and I'd like to see if there's a real difference between 16 and even 32 gigs of RAM. You know, it's like, am I really going to gain that much, you know, extra? We'll have to see. Some say yes, some say no, some say it kind of depends on the program too. However, you need to do these actions first, and then see how your computer runs, right? So let me just zoom out here, and that, and this. Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, so when it comes to your computers, definitely for sure, you want to make sure on your PCs, laptop or desktop, that you've done these steps. This is going to make a really big difference in how your computer reacts to running programs. Boot time is not really affected that much. If you upgraded your RAM from like 8 to 16 gigs, you'll notice a little tiny bit of faster boot time, but not by much, because you're still being dictated to by the hard drive a lot. And mechanical hard drives in laptops, for example, are 5400 RPM, and they're on a very small platform base, 2.5 inch. You usually have a larger platform in your desktop systems, and even mechanical drives in those, 7200 RPM. Either one is very slow, no matter how much horsepower you have under the hood. If you are running a mechanical or non-SSD hard drive, things are still going to be a little on the sluggy side. Even boot times for stuff can be a little on the sluggy side. More RAM generally does help assist that a little bit. But when it comes to an SSD drive, if you have an SSD in your computer, these things can tend to fly like crazy fast. I had an SSD in this laptop for a while, a 1/4 terabyte, and the thing was like, I hit the power button, I couldn't even walk 10 paces, and it's booted and ready for my sign-in. With running the mechanical drive, it's like, oh, are we going to get there someday? I have time. I can go actually grab a coffee, grab a bottle of pop, that sort of thing, come back, and it should hopefully be ready to sign in. Okay, even with all these settings like this, it is the same sort of thing. And this is a pretty fast laptop. My tower is extremely high horsepower, and with a mechanical drive, definitely sluggy. With the SSD I have in it, it's like a lightning bolt. It's just like, I don't get a chance to walk out of my room, so it's kind of like really fast. So SSDs will help with performance for booting your OS. It'll help with booting programs much faster, but you still have to go through all these steps too to make sure everything's running full tilt. And this is something that you can do yourself just like I did. It doesn't hurt the computer whatsoever. The only difference you will notice on laptops, and it's going to vary from laptop to laptop, you'll have some reduced run time doing the same thing you would be doing otherwise. But now you'll have top peak performance on battery power or on plugged in. Okay, it'll be the same experience both ways. And even plugged in, or with a laptop, or you're always plugged in with a tower, right, to a desktop system. If you have everything listed as default, your computer is going to perform sluggy compared to doing this, where things are going to be a lot more alive, a lot more faster, a lot better experience, etc., etc. Okay, but it is completely up to you if you want to do this or not. But it does not harm the computer in any way whatsoever. It's not going to shorten its lifespan any. Okay, and with laptops too, it is important, especially with laptops, that your battery gets cycled often, okay, but not like, you don't want to run the battery to the max deadness every time, but you do want to actually do that to at least twice a year, maybe 3 times in a year on a battery, to keep it running really good and stable, and getting the maximum cycle life out of the battery. You would want to actually allow it to get to that critical level at least 2 to 3 times a year. Otherwise, plug in, plug out, whatever you want to do kind of thing, right? During your normal everyday activities. So I hope this video has helped you guys to be able to do this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll do the best, of course, I can to answer. If you want to see other kind of techie videos on this sort of stuff, give me some ideas what you might like to see. And as long as it's something that I can do for you guys, I will definitely do it. But until next time, we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.